Super Mario Sunshine. This game had a lot of expectations as it was the follow-up to the instant classic Super Mario 64. This game is my favorite Mario title, and I played it obsessively as a kid. But with that aside, let's see if this game still holds up today. Let's start with the story. Yes, this game actually had a story. Mario and Peach decide to go on vacation to Isle Delfino. While landing, there is a mysterious goop on the floor. Mario is then shortly introduced to FLUDD, the water pack you clean up the goop with. Unbeknownst to Mario, someone intentionally put this goo graffiti all over the island. The person who did this looks a lot like Mario, so about 10 minutes into visiting the island, Mario is sentenced to court and has to clean up the entire island. One thing that you should have noticed in this is that there is voice acting in a Mario game for the first time. The voices were generally disliked, and they were somewhat unnecessary. I personally did not have a big problem with the voices.
Junior, I've got something difficult to tell you about Princess Peach.
Except for that one. But I think the voices just added to the charm of this game. Let's talk more about FLUDD. He's the main mechanic in the game and is one of the reasons this game is so different than other Mario titles. Everything excluding some parts of the game revolves around FLUDD. You use him to clean up graffiti, jump over impossible gaps, solve puzzles, and get those hard to reach places. FLUDD has 3 different modes. The first one is the jetpack. This is the one you start out with. This allows you to hover for a short period of time to get over gaps or to save yourself from falling. The second one you unlock is the rocket nozzle. The rocket nozzle shoots you directly up and is used to get to high platforms and is pretty useful throughout the game. The last is the turbo nozzle. This allows you to zip around and cruise the water quickly. They unfortunately didn't really implement the nozzle that well into the game. There's never really a time you need this nozzle except for this one secret mission. Isle Delfino acts as the hub world of the game, which connects all 7 stages. This is similar to Peach's castle, and there's actually a lot of things to do on the island. Another notable thing is that the platforms are not random. If you look at Mario 64, the stages are pretty random as they span a variety of different themes, but a lot of the platforming and challenge comes from random, unexplained objects that do not need to be there. In Super Mario Sunshine, the platforming feels more natural, in the sense that you are scaling the side of a waterfall or climbing scaffolding instead of trying to land on a mysterious floating platform that has no real explanation. So nothing really felt out of place in this game. Each stage has a level where you have to catch Shadow Mario. This gets pretty repetitive after the first 2 times you do this, and it's not really that challenging. It's also required to beat all of these stages to complete the game. Each level also has these Mario Galaxy-like stages, which can be pretty challenging and you will spend most of your lives here. It's a kind of throwback to Mario 64 with some classic 3D platforming. This was also one of my favorite parts of the game because you become very dependent of FLUDD and they take that all away. The game's end features one last level, Corona Mountain. That mysterious gate has finally opened, and to be honest, it's somewhat disappointing. The level isn't that creative and it's relatively short. Even more disappointing is the last fight, which features Bowser in a giant hot tub. This fight is very easy and is not that satisfying to beat. The ending felt slightly rushed as all of your efforts have come to this final battle and it's not that great. Mario 64, being Sunshine's predecessor, did not have many challenging bosses either. This game did seem to break new grounds and ideas for a Mario game, but the last boss especially felt very rushed. Now, this brings me to the shine sprites. You need 65 shines to go to Corona Mountain, but there are 120 shines in the game. The other remaining come from finding secret shine sprites and also collecting the 240 blue coins in the game. Yes, 240. This is one thing I never really enjoyed about the game, only because there was no payoff for collecting all the shine sprites. In Mario 64, you unlocked the cannon and met Yoshi at the top of the castle who gave you 100 lives. As replayable as this game is, I think it would have been way more rewarding to add something that would actually push me to slave over collecting those blue coins. My one other complaint about this game is Yoshi. I was so excited as a kid to find out Yoshi was playable in this game. But again, they failed to really implement him into the game. He's fun to ride around in certain stages, but really brings nothing new. The only thing is he could jump pretty high, and he could use juice to dissolve these weird sponges that block secret levels. Another thing is that Yoshi will die instantaneously from touching the water. This game is surrounded by water, so it's pretty hard to keep him alive. This game is amazing and took a drastic and daring turn, being so different from its predecessors. This game has minor issues, but has great graphics for its time. I believe this game still holds up today, and I wish Nintendo would shake up the franchise like this game did. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. You can also follow us on Twitter and Twitch for future updates.